Let's go. Game number 3, match point for MarineLorD. And here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, match point for MarineLorD, spawning in on the right side of the map. It is going to be MarineLorD playing as the Beastyqt Dynasty in blue. And Aussie, who do we have on the northern side of the map in red?
On the northern side, playing as the red French player, it's Beastyqt. And damn, isn't this a beautiful little base for him? He's got an absolute beautiful one here, very open, and that's exactly what you want as a French base. Plenty of space to put down your farms, and he's got the berries at the front, but he's got the wood at the back, and that's what really matters. He's going to be able to wall this up, keep himself nice and safe from any potential horseman raids. It's looking good.
It is indeed looking good out there. Now, as you pointed out, it is always a possibility, and it's a very likely possibility for the Beastyqt to go for a second town center. So what do you think is going to be the reaction here for Beastie to that? Could we be seeing the French player trying to play a second town center, or maybe just use the lack of map control or the lack of desire from the Beastyqt player to try and contest map control and go for the boar maybe?
Yeah, I think there's two ways that our French player can play it today. At least this is my understanding. Number one is he can look for a one town center timing attack, but keep in mind, it's Beastyqt. It's going to be unlikely. Number two is that he goes for some type of crazy 3-town center play. That is always going to be an option for him. He is playing the French. And remember, even though MarineLorD might be thinking about a 3TC play himself, if Beastie can hide his 3rd town center, which is very possible because we are playing on Highview, then there is the potential that MarineLorD could misjudge his own position and think he is ahead when actually he could be behind. But we've seen games before on this map go for a very, very long time. So there is the potential. If you haven't already, grab yourself something to drink. I suspect we might be in for a long one.
Looks like MarineLorD is quite successful finding sheep over here, which is once again a bad sign for Beastie, because obviously while MarineLorD is going to be focused on the berries, more sheep for the Beastyqt player means less sheep for the French player out here, and that is a growing concern. You see, there's 8 sheep over there for Beastie. Not great, not terrible, but definitely he would want more playing with the French, so we'll have to see how he's going to address that food issue out there. On the other side, looks like no berries are being taken right now for MarineLorD, so he's rushing that feudal age as fast as possible. He's got a pretty neat little looking base over here if you take a look at that. He's got the gold mine at the back, and the berries, little exposed on the front. Where's the stone mine at, though? And am I right seeing that his stone mines are horrendous?
It doesn't look pretty for him. He's got 2 front stone mines. That is it. Both players actually getting front stone mines. Both players actually getting double front stone mines in this scenario. So that is a potential window for Beastie to look to abuse. If he maybe even comes up and drops an outpost down, I mean, is that even on the cards? Potentially. But now we've got age ups coming through. Beastyqt going to be going for that School of Cavalry. Economic Wing going to be coming through for MarineLorD. No real surprises there. Hopefully the developers are looking at actually rebalancing the French landmarks, because it would be great to see the second landmark come out, the Chamber of Commerce. By the same token, they've done a great job at rebalancing the Beastyqt Dynasty ones, but still, that Economic Wing seems a little bit strong. It's very rare that you see players opt to go any other direction than the Economic Wing.
Yeah, the fresh foodstuffs is probably the best feudal age technology of the entire game if you think about that one. Relatively cheap and gives you a tremendous boost. Like, even if you play one town center, just having half of your villager cost taken away is massive. It is allowing you to get so many more units on the battlefield because you can afford things a lot easier. And combine that with the berry bonus as well, you can really turn that food discount and the food advantage that you're getting from the berries into military presence. And it looks like we are going to have some stone being mined over here by MarineLorD. This will be spotted by Beastie, and he knows that he can easily punish this stone mine over here with the first knight that would come out.
Yeah, that's what he'll be looking to do. But the question is how his macro response is to that, because that's going to be his immediate response. Immediate response is, yep, all right, we get a night out. We look to apply pressure there. But he knows now, okay, there's a second town center coming out. So Beastie can also respond with his own second town center. And keep in mind, as a French player, he's going to be making villages faster than the Beastyqt Dynasty. So even though the Beastyqt Dynasty is paying less for its villages, it's still making them the slow rate that every other civilization has got to make. Whereas Beastyqt, on the French, he's going to be making those villages extra quickly. But we see an archery range come out for Beastyqt, so he's looking to just keep it standard for now. Whether that is a sign of things to come, we'll have to wait. We'll have to see as Beastie looks on this forward line. He's trying his best to pick off a scout here, defends it. But now back towards the base of MarineLorD, we continue seeing that just villagers working away for that second town center. MarineLorD definitely likes his chances as that first knight comes out. He's sitting on 160 stone at this point in time. Will he be able to gather up that 300 stone in time? I doubt it very much, and it could be difficult for him because his pants, they're halfway up at the moment. And Beastie going to be coming in and finding him. That's probably not the best.
Disaster.
Yeah, absolute disaster. You're 100% right. And we now see the villagers going to be heading back in. And now keep in mind, where does he go for stone from here? Where does he go? Does he look to long distance mine it? No, he's going to be forced to do a barracks. And this is not pretty right now for MarineLorD. Could this be the window back into this series for Beastyqt? He is down 2-0. We are sitting on match point in this series. If Beastyqt wins this game, he keeps his head above water. But if MarineLorD wins, then that is it. He is through to the grand final. And he has got a nice rest coming through for him tomorrow.
Yeah, this is looking grim over here for MarineLorD because now he's just transitioning into pure reactions. You see the barracks just not being dropped, archer range just not being dropped, and not only is the stone mine exposed, the berries are as well. So this is a very, very difficult spot for MarineLorD to be in, and right now, those knights, just 2 knights over there are paying for their price so well. It was actually surprising to see MarineLorD not committing more villagers to that stone mine, given the fact that he knew how exposed that was. Hardened Spearman on the way right now for him, but right now, Beastie could just press that cruise control button and play from an advantageous position, because he's already able to build up a small villager lead, and more importantly, he's delaying that second town center quite considerably.
And that's exactly it. And a lot of people playing along at home or watching along at home might be looking at this and saying, oh, it's not a big deal that this got denied. Well, hold on a minute. Hold on. MarineLorD comes into this game. And you know what he says? He says, I've got a plan. I'm going to go for a second town center. And he tries to go about making that plan work out. You can see he's gathered up plenty of stone in the back. But Beastyqt denies it. He says, no, you can't stick to that plan. And now everything shifts for MarineLorD. All of a sudden, he's got to go, oh, well, I guess that wood that I was going to put on a second town center, now I've got to spend it on a barracks. That food I was going to spend on villagers, now I've got to spend it on spearmen. And everything starts going downhill from here. Now, this is a great opening for Beastyqt. He's going to be very happy with how well he's performed and how well he's spotted out this stone. He's going to be feeling great about himself. The fact he's going to click on that stone and see that there's more than 1,200 stone remaining in that stockpile, he's going to be very happy. But he is going to be cognizant of his enemy, maybe looking to do a little bit of a long distance mine or something like that. But we now see that villagers could potentially come up towards that stone mine. It is a bit open, but I don't know whether MarineLorD's really in a position to add in that second town center at this point in time.
Yeah, the problem is that he's already been set back quite a bit over here, and even if he can just send out 8 villagers in a short window that he has to get the stone, he's still cut off from those berries out there. So you see that his food eco is also going to have issues once he runs out of sheep. It actually comes in very handy that he gathered all that sheep in Dark Age, because that's his only source of food right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's got the berries out there, but keep in mind, he's got a forward berries. Both players here. I love the way that the spawns are mirrored here. Both got the front berries, both got front stone, but in this scenario, we've got a back gold for both of these players. And obviously, that's going to affect one player a little bit more than the other, because if you'd had it the other way around, you know, if you had a front gold, then that adversely affects Beastyqt. But in this matchup here, there's not going to be a lot of action towards his side of the map, so it really only starts to hurt MarineLorD. And in that regard, you definitely got to feel bad for the guy as he tries to keep his head in the game here. Obviously, we're in game number 3, and you can see that Beastie just intent on pushing up towards his position. This is the consequence of having that forward berries. And you can see villagers moving out. Are they going for the stone? They've got their hammers out. I think they might be looking to mine that. That's a couple of pickaxes in hand right there. They were indeed intent on gathering up that stone. Here we go. We might have ourselves a second town center on the menu.
Yeah, it's nice, the kamikaze stone miners out there. But it's so risky. I mean, you have to fight for that stone mine. You see the villagers are idle out there. The spearmen got picked off. Knights are still alive over here. This is as good as it gets over here for Beastie. I mean, he's picking off most of the forces, and MarineLorD still doesn't have sufficient amount of stone over here. The delay is just immense.
I think the worst part for MarineLorD in that scenario is we do see more raids coming down on the wood line there. Was that awkward moment where the villagers deliver the stone and then go on to berries, and it's like, well, I only had enough stone to you know, have 275, but we did see a lot of villagers moving out towards that position. It looks like a mill going to be coming down over on the over on that. Oh, you know what? MarineLorD could have done something very smart. I'm going to put it out there right now. What MarineLorD needed to do: go and gather up 25 stone on that stone mine, and then build the mill with it. It's going to drop that stone automatically off at the mill. And then all of a sudden, you don't even need to make a mining camp there. You get enough for the town center, and then you can just drop it down straight away. That would have been the big brain move. Unfortunately, MarineLorD under a lot of pressure right now, probably unable to do all the calculations and work out that that was the right play.
Yeah, that's a great point out there. Every single drop-off site, so lumber camps, mills, mining camps, they act as a drop-off site for all resources the moment they are created. So at one moment, they act as a drop-off site for every single resource. So he could have just mined the stone, build a mill, and the stone gets dropped off at the newly constructed mill. But it looks like Beastie has realized something is wrong here, that his opponent has given up on that stone mine, and he realized that, oh shoot, there's a second stone mine and the hunt on the left side as well I need to take care of. Looks like MarineLorD is going to have enough time to get the stone he needs. Is he delayed too much though? Because you get the feel that this second town center is going to be awfully late.
And that's exactly it. You need to remember, every 20 seconds that this town center is delayed is -1 villager for MarineLorD right now. And it's been delayed by 4-5 minutes at this point in time. And now we see Spears on the front line trying to defend it. They're getting up against that horseman. Knights doing a great job, going to be unpacking their loads completely on those archers. And now it's looking terrible right now for MarineLorD. It's not looking pretty. Beastyqt might be finding a way back into this game. Going to be applying pressure to the wounds. And MarineLorD, where are the spears for MarineLorD right now? All the villagers going to be evacuating. You see them down to the south side of your screen right now. When good game gets called, Beastyqt finds his way back into this series, and we may potentially have a reverse sweep on the cards, boys.
Oh man, Beastie diagnosing the position, that was just so smart from him. And he was fully aware that MarineLorD couldn't afford a second town center. He sees the stone mine, he knows how much was taken from it, and he diagnosed it so well. And we do have to highlight that this was a fair map script over here. It's not like MarineLorD got massively screwed over. Obviously, if you look at the two players, both of them had forward stones. It just happens to be the case that one player was playing a civilization that was much more reliant on that stone that they needed together, whereas the other civilization was a civ that's great for feudal age pushes like this one to punish exposed resources like the ones we have seen.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting now. Now it's starting to get serious. Beastyqt finally coming online. Interestingly, in the early game, though, in the feudal age, normally you'd expect a guy like Beastyqt to be coming online in the imperial age. But in this scenario, not going to be the case. A big difference there in the military mass. We saw just how many knights were able to overwhelm. And I think that's the thing about the French. Typically when you are pushing into an opponent's base, if you push in with archers and you overwhelm your enemy with archers, well, their forces just move away.